Welcome back to Chiefs fans before we were cool, a Brother Wonders podcast. And apparently we are in mourning. Is that what I'm
We
saying?
are we are in the dark days.
The dark days.
Could this be the darkest timeline?
It kind of says something about your franchise when 5-5 is the dark days.
Indeed.
We still got a more than 50% chance of making the playoffs.
You
Um,
know, Nick Wright had a whole thing talking about how he's like, this happens, like, sadly, it happens sometimes where athletes or like someone who wins the lottery, and was happy before, and then they have all this money, and then they lose it all, and they don't know how to be happy now without a lot of stuff.
oh,
That's where we're at.
that's where we're
And
at.
he was making, yeah, he was saying that with the Chiefs. He's like, it was fine for years and years, just making the playoffs. You wanted more, but you're at least happy just making the playoffs. And now it's not enough anymore. I don't know if I can go back to living that way. So
I will say I was not happy just making the playoffs and losing in the first or second round every year.
that's true.
I was pretty annoyed. But yeah, no,
But if you would
I
have said we won a Super Bowl and then made it to the playoffs most years,
yeah.
like
Oh
we'd be
man.
like, oh, that would be awesome.
Oh
Now
man.
we're like
Yeah.
sad that oh, my camera's wigging out. My camera's sad too. Um, and then now that there's a chance we might actually miss the playoffs one year, it's devastating.
It's a bummer, man. I think the Super Bowl loser hangover is kind of a thing where oftentimes the person who loses the Super Bowl really struggles next year. And we've avoided that, for a lot of years. But whatever reason, we're struggling. We can talk a little bit about why that might be.
Yeah,
But ultimately, we're still 5-5. We still kind of control our own, at least playoff spot. We're down to like 10% chance of winning the division. So
right.
that's pretty much out of reach. But we still have more than 50% chance of getting the playoffs. We still seem to have the best team, like in terms of talent that we've had in a while. Like you think about us compared to last year, I think pretty much everything got better. Simmons has been amazing, left tackle. Now he missed 4 games, and maybe that's cost us a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah,
Jalen Moore was fine, so it's hard. It's hard to kind of like pinpoint any one thing. It seems like a lot of it is kind of just on execution.
hmm
I don't
well, and
know.
like obviously Mahomes threw the really bad interception.
Take
Um,
the 3 points, bro.
yeah, don't risk it. Like
Yeah, he
like
just
if
tried to
it.
make a play.
hmm
Yeah, that was
So 3 points
that,
would have made a big difference in this game.
right. And they scored on the drive there, and um, I think there's just a level where maybe we were trying to force it a little bit. We tried to do short or long passes. But honestly, you know what I think, and I don't know if this is right or not, but it seems like we just for deep throws, we probably want Tyquan Thornton playing a little bit more. Like I don't like I just don't know with Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown. They're both faster, but Tyquan Thornton's pretty fast himself, and he's been a lot better at contested
I don't
catches.
I don't think that Hollywood Brown's faster than Thornton, at least not anymore.
Oh, at this point, yeah, maybe not. Probably not.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like for whatever reason, Mahomes has done a better job of hitting Thornton than he has of Worthy.
Hmm.
Hmm. So you might be right. Getting him a little more involved in the deeper passes and
Right. And I thought, and maybe this is just because he's on my fantasy team, but it did seem like Rasheed Rice, we got away from that, especially in the second half. Some of his quick plays and stuff. We should have kept trying to set him up and feed him. And they were probably focusing on him. And Denver's a really great defense. But at the
Mhm.
same time, like I thought playing more of the middle of the field, like we we had a lot of I think we had 3 or 4 plays like that in the middle of the field that were really good, like 15, 10 yards. We just had penalties on several of them. So I don't know. Like it just seemed like that
Yeah,
should be there. But the Chiefs, like, I mean, the penalties are, we gotta stop that, like way
yeah,
too many penalties. I mean, it did seem like the refs were calling this one pretty close. We're
hmm
both teams, lots of penalties there. But even then, like we want, like, especially with special teams, missing a block, missing a extra point, giving up big runs back, it's just not a good recipe for playing well and winning games, especially on the road against. I mean, I don't really have a lot of respect for Denver's offense, but their defense, like you have to know,
hmm
and their offense can make a play or two. They did
they're functional. They're
functional.
Bo Nix played pretty well, really. Um, had some potential interceptions that we didn't capitalize on. That's been one
Mm-hmm.
of his big problems is putting the ball in harm's way, and we didn't punish him for it.
Yeah,
So, um, but yeah, I mean, they played better. They came out ahead. So
sure did. Sure
it's
did.
tough. It's a tough one. I was thinking we would win that one, and it puts us in a rough spot, like you said, a little bit over. I think like 58% or whatever is what their system gives us for chances to still make the playoffs. Which obviously we've made it in the wild card before, um, so we can do it again.
We were the which year were we the wild card? We've always won the AFC West, so I think we've gone in as a four seed.
Well, didn't we? No, we had to go on the road to the Dolphins, right? Or no, the Dolphins, did they come to our? They
They
came.
came
They
to
came.
us.
That,
Yeah,
that's what
they
it
lost
was.
to Buffalo, and then
That's
they
right.
ended up
We were
even
we
with a
were the fourth seed. That's
yeah,
right.
even though they had a good effort
And then we
record.
had to go on the road a couple times. So you're right. We haven't been
Hmm
a wild card, but we have had to travel in the playoffs
hmm
before.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you're
So
right. Obviously, we won the West for 9 straight years or whatever it is.
yep,
Um, so
can't make it a
probably not
10th.
this year.
Bummer. But that's okay. Like, I mean, even if the everything falls apart and we don't make the playoffs, it kind of makes sense. Like, really good teams will sometimes struggle. A big thing that's killed us this year are one score games.
hmm
Do you think that's luck related or execution related?
Definitely some of both. I mean, we obviously had a chance to go down and score in this game, and we weren't able to drive down the clock and make the plays and go down the field and kick a game-winning field goal.
Hmm
Instead, we stalled out and kicked it back to them, and they did it. So, uh, you can say who gets the ball last, but we had a chance to have the ball last if we would have, you know, just made a few more plays. Um, and so, I mean, I think definitely some execution. We had some dropped balls in this one too. Uh,
hmm
Mahomes had some really great throws that were dropped, some of them by Rice, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's tough. Um, just not everyone executing on a high enough level. And like you said, the penalties killed us. The Denver gave up some big penalties, but we had a lot. I felt like we had a lot of 10-yarders that really just held us back from executing. And Denver is such a hard team to get first downs already. And then if you're going at it at first and 20, it's going to be
Yeah.
really hard to make that work. But
Yeah. Two, three and outs to end the game. Um,
mhm,
that's not that's not a good recipe for winning. We had 10 opportunities for drives. And we scored, what was it, 19 points?
19 points. So yeah,
Um,
less than 2 points a drive is not very good.
hmm So you got to be, um, yeah, you just got to kind of, as you look at that, you're like, that's not a recipe for winning on the road. Um, I think the Yeah, I think in terms of okay, we talked about that. What about the third down calls? How do you feel about the Chiefs dropping back in coverage? Like, yeah, I mean, even just watching it, you kind of could have noticed it. It was just like we had, I think, three or four third down opportunities to get off the field that last drive, right, with the Broncos,
Hmm.
or at least make it a right do or die play. And they made it every time. So, in the second to last one, like if he doesn't get that throw in there to Franklin, that they have to kick a field goal, and we have time. Mahomes has times to answer or get a touchdown.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, they had a third and 15 or something. I mean, it was a third and pretty long. I think that was on the last drive. If not, they at least had some third and tens or some
Yeah.
longer ones, and they still
Hmm.
converted. Um, yeah. I mean, listening to the broadcast, Romo was saying to drop back into coverage, and that's what they did. Um, I don't know. We struggle. Our front four struggle to get pressure. So it's hard when you have to blitz in order to get pressure.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, it almost like counteracts it. One of the things I heard is that Bo Nix has been pretty bad. Like, has been much better against blitz than when he's not getting blitz, and so. There's a level where it's like, well, of course, then you're not going to blitz in that situation. But I think maybe that was overthinking it because we're also terrible at getting pressure with four. Like
yeah,
we kind of need the blitz in those moments to
yeah.
ensure pressure in a timely manner. And that's kind
It's
of what
kind of
we
like
saw.
when you play a team that's really good against man and your defense is primarily man.
Hmm.
Do you then play zone? Because then you're not as good at it, but they're not as good against it. It's the same kind of like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like do you do what you're good at, or do you do what they're bad at, or
Yeah.
so it's uh it's a tough one. Obviously, we've talked about them trading for a a lineman of some kind. Like I what Jalen Phillips, the Eagles, he was a uh, would be super nice to have on our team. He's been playing great for them since going there. I
Hmm.
think that was a third round pick for I think it is just a 1 year rental. I think that it's a contract year for him.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to give up, but also sure it would have made a big difference in this game, I think.
Hmm.
Um, because it is just like too much time. Like I've say it so many times when I'm watching Chiefs games when it's a third and 10 or something like that. I'm like, oh man, there's just too much time. He's going to find somebody open. And
Yep.
oftentimes he does. Or,
Yeah.
not just against the Broncos, but other teams too.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Quentin Williams has been doing really great tonight for the Cowboys. Like,
mm,
Um, another defensive tackle picked up at the trade deadline,
they gave
and
up a lot for him, right? That was
yeah,
like
it was probably too expensive for us. We
yeah,
can't afford that
it
in
was like
our kind of
a
situation.
first and a second or something like that. I mean, it was,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
so I'm
I don't
just
hate that as much. Not taking that, I guess. It would have been super nice to have him, obviously.
yeah. So
Chris
yeah,
Jones did have a couple good plays in this one.
yeah, I think the defense did well enough for especially for field position, some things like that. Like they had that stand early where they held them to a field goal
Hmm.
from like the 10-yard line or something. We
After the
didn't really run.
kick return.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would just say I think this is another game. I've talked about this before. It wasn't really Bo Nix outdueling Patrick Mahomes in the sense of like we stopped the run. RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins out for the season, unfortunately. Feel for the guy. He's been so
Oh,
good
he's
when
out for the
healthy.
season? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I thought he was on IR, so I just assumed that
Yeah.
he'd be coming back for like the
Yeah.
playoffs. But
No. No. yeah,
Bummer.
it was yeah, he's done for the season. So um
Well, it's also not one for one, right? The Broncos defense is way better than ours, so like it's a
mhm.
completely different. Like I would like to see Bo Nix go against his own defense. That would be way taller task. Like it's they have a historic defense or close to it at least.
Well, yeah,
Versus
with the line specifically, really. And then I mean
yeah,
when Surtain's healthy, like that's the issue too. Like they didn't have Patrick Surtain, um, which is kind of a huge thing in terms of their coverage. And
but
we
they
still
also
lost.
traded for a great corner, or they drafted a great corner. It's like they have some depth there too, though. It's not like
Right, of
some teams
course.
have just the one guy, but they have several. So
Yeah,
obviously he's better, but their next guy up is pretty
pretty good too.
obviously held his own, played really well.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, that's good. That's good. Good job.
yeah.
Uh, good for their defense. I think our defense is really good too, though. I mean, I don't know if that's as much a difference. I do think the style is we're daring them to throw, they're daring us to pass or run.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Our run game was fairly effective.
Yeah, it was
Like,
very effective. One big thing I'm hearing more of from different people is our unwillingness or Mahomes are a low percentage of shotgun plays, running out of shotgun because it's just so much more effective for running to play from under center than to um and so yeah, I think
so
I
it's
might have
easier
flipped
to
there.
predict.
It's easier to predict which one you're gonna do or it's just less effective. But the trick is when you go from under center, you turn your back like as a quarterback. So
Mhm.
Mahomes, I think it might be Mahomes just doesn't prefer it. Like a lot of quarterbacks don't prefer it, but like a lot of the most successful offenses, like think Daniel Jones, Colts, a lot of them, Rams, a lot of times they're playing from under center, and that seems to be the new thing that's working against the way that defenses are playing. Really setting up play action a little bit stronger, but we're not doing it. And maybe we don't need to. Maybe there's a level where Mahomes' ability to diagnose defenses counteracts the benefits of it, but
Well,
it is
also with our
something.
line issues we've had in the past, it might be a product of that, right? Like if you're
Hmm.
turning your back and you don't have a good line,
Yeah,
like sometimes you see that they turn and there's somebody already on them. It's like
yeah,
that's a um, also a risk. And our offensive line's done better this year, but that might be a product of years where we've struggled with that.
yeah. And I mean, we didn't get the running back. Like we kind of talked about trading for it.
Hmm.
We trade for the running back. Even then, like at that point, you'd hope you'd start justifying that kind of a play when you have a home run threat. I kind of again, it made sense for both. We talked about this last time with Brees Hall. It made sense for them to want a third and nothing less because of compensatory picks and whatnot. And it made sense for us to not want to give up
For just 1 year.
for 1 year. But man, I think it would have made a difference. Like Kareem Hunt did well. We're running fine. Um,
Yeah,
but if we have all this money invested in Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey, you use it, and you have to set up your run game to use it. And the Broncos were daring us to use it. They have such a good front four, and we just kind of played our game. And a little bit like we're talking about strength to strength. It's tricky. It's tricky to make that call, but you kind of have to make the call sometimes.
yeah,
Like we should have more games where we run a closer percentage than we pass, right? Like
yeah,
maybe it's always pass leaning, but not, it doesn't have to be like 65% or whatever it is right now. Too much.
yeah. Yep. It seems like we definitely should have been buyers of some kind in the trade deadline because we do have some good receivers on rookie deals
Yeah.
that we're pretty soon not going to have on rookie deals anymore. Like, so we had another good shot to make a deep run.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, there'll be some things that contracts that will get out from under in a couple years too.
Yeah.
Obviously, Juwan Taylor is one, and then even Chris Jones will, if he stays, will be far cheaper after his contract runs out. So there's some of that, but then those other guys are going to be expensive. So we have to find
Yeah.
either new young talent or we have to pay them. So
Do you think we should re-sign Rasheed Rice?
probably,
He
I don't
seems to be
know.
the engine of the offense. It's hard to walk away from that,
hmm
even with all of his issues.
Obviously, it's like anything. What's he asking? What's his value? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if it's like 30 million, then at a certain point you're like, ah, why do Tyreek, you kind of start thinking back to that. But
well, yeah,
uh
but that's even a few years ago where,
yeah.
yeah, receivers are getting more and more expensive.
It's true. Yeah, I still feel like like having a really good running back, like, just to have that threat or a good pass catching running back, that's the big thing with Brees Hall, is he would have been
Yeah,
so good out of the backfield. Like it'd be like having prime Kareem Hunt, honestly, in my opinion. Um, and he's not bad running either on a Jets team that can't do anything. Like everybody knows he's their best thing. Like everyone. Like
yep.
that's is what it is.
No use crying over missed trades,
That's right.
as the
That's right.
saying goes.
As the saying goes. But yeah, let's talk about some positives. You already mentioned Chris Jones played really strong. So that was really good to see. Man, we've been wanting to see him go after him, and he went after him. Went after quarterback, had some really good pressures, a sack. That's what we want to see out of our Chris Jones. That's the Chris Jones we know and love. Travis Kelce,
It's
I'll add
looking
Travis
good.
Kelce. Looked good. He was playing his role. He was one of the few things that was working on the offense. And good job, man. He broke a couple tackles, which he hasn't been doing. Like, good job, Travis Kelce, man. Like, keep
Yeah.
playing your heart out. We love you, 87. Let's go out on a decent career year if this is your last year. And that's what I guess we should say for the Chiefs. Go out. Let's go out swinging. You know,
Yeah.
think it's good. We look at the rest of the season. We certainly can, maybe this is a wake up call. Feels like there should have been other wake up call games, but maybe they've just been making excuses. Like, well, we lost to Jacksonville, but now we have Rasheed Rice. And
I
so
think it's a wake-up call. I think they were playing for keeps in this one and they just didn't still
anyway,
didn't quite perform. I mean, I don't think that
hmm
anyone was taking the Broncos lightly. I
yeah,
think that they just outplayed us. We
yeah,
just didn't execute well enough. And Mahomes, he hasn't had a lot of interceptions this year, but they've almost all been in the red zone.
hmm
And several of them haven't been his fault too, but there's
hmm
been some very key ones. I mean, that turnover in Buffalo wasn't in the red zone, but it was on a very important drive that we needed to score
right.
points on.
hmm
And yeah, so like, I don't know.
But like, look, like they've all been close games, so we're
Right.
playing.
You assume it's going to swing back a little bit, right? We had such insane 1 point game, 1 score game luck last year, and we've had bad 1 score game luck this year. But
But it's not quite how that works, right? In the sense of like, oh yeah, you get 12 heads, well now you're going to get 12 tails,
yeah.
so we don't expect it to normalize in that way and just lose all the one score games. And I mean, honestly, there's also a level where it comes down to execution. I think we
hmm
just got out executed this game towards the end of the game, and
Yeah, I
it
mean,
ended
if
up being a big
we
difference.
had a great chance. We had the ball. We've had a ending score drive, and we went 3 and out. Like
Yep.
we could have like that wasn't so much clock that we couldn't have burned it up by
Yeah.
if we would have driven down the field, and so and kicked a game-winning field goal. We just stalled on offense. So
Yeah, I think there's a
um,
penalty in both of those or a
you
sack or
might be
something.
right.
And
Yeah, we
so
we
we,
had
we got behind the
too
sticks in
many.
both of those pretty bad. And that's it's rough against the team, as you said. So we got to execute. We got to make sure we don't make the plays that we need to. But yeah, um, but like I said, the defense played well. Travis Kelce turned back the clock a little bit. There's signs of life with this team. That's why I think it's so frustrating. Like 2 weeks ago, before the before the Bills game, we were talking about the Chiefs like, man, we're so exciting. It's like the best offense we've had for a long time and and all this other
We
crazy
are
stuff.
back.
And then, now we're like looking, could lose the playoffs. Don't have the tiebreaker over like the Jaguars, which might matter come
Several of
January.
them, right? Like
Yeah.
we've lost to the Chargers, to the Jaguars, to the
Hmm.
Bills. Like all of those are people in the playoff or playoff hunt
Yeah.
in the Broncos.
Hmm.
Now we have other like the Colts and which the Colts you assume are going to have their division, so that won't matter in the wild card. But we have the Colts and we have the Texans. That might be a really big one
Hmm.
because they're going to be playing for a spot. You know, either them or Jacksonville are going to probably win
Get.
the division, and then
Hmm.
or yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. We've lost a couple of those key games where the head-to-head might really matter.
Hmm.
Um, so well, we're gonna have to really play well down the stretch. You know, you assume if we can beat Houston, and I mean if we can get to 10 wins, we got a shot for sure.
Yeah.
So we have the Raiders and we have Houston and we have the um, the Cowboys and we have trying to remember. We have several winnable games for sure,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have to make sure we win some of the. I mean, even the Chargers haven't been playing real well.
Hmm.
Um, that's probably honestly our best bet at this point. It looks like because we play them head to head as well. So if we beat them, then that's an automatic loss. You know, it, we
Right.
control our destiny a little bit with that one.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll
Yeah. We're.
see. I mean, it does feel like this team is not worse than last year's team. We just aren't winning games.
Yeah.
So
We've
that's
lost the
frustrating. At some
head-to-heads.
point, you have to win.
Yeah. Some point you just are what you are. You're a 500 team,
Yep.
which is um hard to see as a Chiefs fan, especially after being spoiled for so many years. But look, let's enjoy the ride. Let's go down swinging.
All right.
Um the
On to the Colts game, right?
yep, on to the Colts game. Oh,
So
okay.
we gotta
Awesome.
we gotta move past the
Dark days.
the sadness. We gotta pick ourselves up
On to
out of the
Jonathan
dirt
Taylor.
and focus on to playing some Jonathan Taylor. I
Hmm.
kind of want to say Jonathan Taylor led Colts because I feel like that is fairly accurate.
Probably true.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It will not be easy. Um,
Hmm.
reports it looks like they have a center back and uh, um, they have a couple people out with injuries, but I don't know if those are key play. I don't know their roster well enough.
Yeah.
Um, but they have a defensive tackle out, and then they have Travarius Ward is on has a concussion, and so I don't know if they're sure if he's going to play. Um, but they have a couple injuries. I don't know if those are like their main guys or like I don't or not. But they have some minor injuries. We're fairly healthy still. I don't Pacheco, I don't know if he'll probably still be out, would be my guess, but
Hmm.
um, we don't really have any other significant injuries besides the people we've lost for the year.
Yeah, so we'll see if we
So,
can contain Jonathan Taylor. I mean, we haven't had running backs run over us. James Cook was
mhm.
some, the last 100-yard rusher in like so many games. So, like, we'll see. I'm sure that's going to be the game plan again. Force Daniel Jones to beat us. And we have like our cornerbacks, Trent McDuffie, Watson. You heard it on the broadcast, like they're good. We have
Mhm.
good cornerbacks. We have good players. We just got to execute. We got to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're not getting all these penalties and
We
pushing
got to
back
get
the
pressure
offense.
somehow.
Yeah, we got to get pressure sometime. And if that's blitz on a third and long, blitz them. You gotta. You can't just let them sit back and do whatever. You just can't. Um, like I would have rather gone down swinging that way. With our cornerbacks as good as they are. And again, I'm not. You know, s- who am I to question Spags? But it seemed like he kind of went away from his traditional stuff that's worked really well. And like, how many games has he put away with some crazy blitz in third and long at the end of a game? And
Yep.
that's what you do best, Spags. So do that. And Mahomes, do what you do best, right? Do that, right? Like, let's get some more automatic plays and just play the thing and try some other things, but look, you don't need to prove anything about your deep ball, like you don't have to prove anything. Like we don't
Yep.
have to prove anything with this stuff. We need to just start taking care of business. And if that means we're boring, if that means like so be it. Let's get back to winning because as
On the other
Chiefs
hand,
fans, we don't like losing.
it's fair. We do need to hit on some of those, man. He needs to
Oh yeah.
get
His long
that
throws. Yeah.
cleaned up.
It's been
So,
weird. It's been weird, man. Well,
yep.
I think with the Colts, it'll be stopping Jonathan Taylor, and then obviously it's kind of similar to this game. Honestly, drop back, stop Jonathan Taylor and try to get some pressure on Daniel Jones and
Yeah. And
force some bad throws.
our offense is going to have a better day. I mean,
Yeah,
which the Colts defense isn't nearly as good as the Broncos, obviously. So we're going to have
yeah,
to, like, our offense is going to have to look like it's looked the several weeks when we played that worst defenses. We're going to have to be putting up 30 points.
yeah,
I mean, I don't too, yeah, we're not holding the Colts to less than 20. So we're going to be at least, I think, need to get into the 30s to have a good shot at it.
yeah. We'll
But
see how the
we're we're just on to the next games, fellas. We're leaving all that
we're
behind.
riding it on. Those
This is,
those
I will say, this is like the first time this season where I like the idea of missing playoffs was more of a like a real possibility. Like even when we were playing
yeah,
pretty bad early on, it was like just
they'll
settle
turn around.
down. This was a little more like, oh, yep, now if we drop this game, we're going to be at I'm sure less than 50% chance to make the playoffs, like
Yeah,
at all. And um, so now we put our backs against the wall pretty hard.
right. We're in a lot
So
of with that game loss, we have a lot more must-win games going forward.
mhm,
So we'll see
we
how
kind of
that
need
all
to
plays out.
win 5 of the next 7 games.
I just feel like we shouldn't be doing our uh, outro though. This feels sad.
It is sad.
It's sad.
We're
All right.
maybe these are the horses we're supposed to tame.
These are the horses. On to the next horses.
Maybe on
That
to the next
horse, those
horses.
Buck and Broncos bucked us off so hard.
Yeah. Maybe these horses? Question mark.
Maybe these horses. All right. How about them?
Chiefs.
Go.